Chapter 300 Fort Battle breaks out. Wang Tao glanced at Kang Chon. He knew that according to Kang Chon's talent, sooner or later, he would be able to compete with those geniuses of the cultivation world in the 18 layers of hell. He just didn't know if he would be able to make a name for himself. In addition to these 3 forbidden places, there are many other dangerous places in the orthodox battlefield. You must not be careless. Wang Tao reminded the crowd before continuing. The orthodox battlefield consists of 2 main parts. The first is the outer Yuanying stage battlefield, the wind and cloud continent, and the second is the out-of-body stage battlefield, the land of kings. Everyone looked at Wang Tao and listened carefully. The wind and cloud continent is the most expansive, but it belongs to the periphery of the orthodox battlefield, and there are naturally very few treasures in it. The one we are going to right now is the wind cloud continent, as it is a battlefield for Yuanying stage cultivators, and there are very few out-of-body stage powerhouses that we have encountered, so for you newcomers, this is the safest place to be. Wang Tao swept a glance at the crowd and said, "What about the land of kings?" Little Gold asked curiously. "Ha." Seeing Xiao Jin inquiring, Wang Tao revealed a hint of a smile as he said, "The land of kings is a battlefield for out-of-body stage cultivators, and most of the cultivators who dare to enter it are out-of-body stage king sealing powerhouses, and there are even quite a few king sealing ones. This is the place with the highest mortality rate and the most intense battles in the orthodox battlefield, but there are also very many treasures in it. Right, I have the basic map of the wind cloud continent here. You guys take it over and copy it." Saying that, Wang Tao suddenly threw Kang Chon a jade slip. "It's really vast." Kang Chon's divine thoughts probed into it, and he was immediately shocked by the enormity of the map. This wind cloud continent was truly boundless. He quickly made a copy of it, and then threw it to Xiao Jin and Niu San for them to copy. This map seems a bit incomplete. After carefully looking at the map, Kang Chon looked at Wang Tao in doubt. Wang Tao smiled at his words. "You forgot that I said that this is the basic map of the wind cloud continent. Because the wind cloud continent is vast and boundless, so the cultivation world doesn't have any detailed maps at all. This is already the most detailed map that we have in the Heavenly Dao sect. Compared to other sects, we are already very lucky." Kang Chon nodded in understanding. Even the disciples of the Heavenly Dao sect could only obtain this kind of map, so I'm afraid that the disciples of other sects would obtain even more rudimentary maps. Senior brother Kang Chon, the most important thing in the orthodox demon battlefield is still strength. If you want to enter the king's land, I advise you to better wait until you have the strength of an out-of-body stage sealed king before entering, Wang Tao reminded. "Thanks to senior brother Wang Tao for reminding me. I will pay attention." Kang Chon said his thanks. In fact, according to his current strength, he was not far from the outbreathing stage sealed king. At the Yuanying stage, having the strength of a sealed king was comparable to a cultivator at the early stage of outbreathing, while a sealed king at the Yuanying stage was equivalent to a cultivator at the middle stage of outbreathing. A Yuanying invincible was comparable to a late stage of outbreathing. However, Kang Chon's cultivation was somewhat special. Although he was only a Yuanying invincible, his strength far exceeded that of other Yuanying invincible powerhouses. Moreover, he was also the owner of a special bloodline, and once he displayed the strongest combat state of Kang Chon's hegemonic blood, his strength was even more powerful. Kang Chon carefully estimated that he was now almost at the peak of the outbreeding stage, and was already infinitely close to the outbreeding stage Seal King. After I break through the 5th layer of the 9 revolutions Zhuanggong, I should have the strength of an outbreathing stage sealed king. Right, or my cultivation will be raised to the peak of the 9th layer of the Yuanying stage. Kang Chon thought. If he broke through the 5th layer of the 9 revolutions Zhuanggong, then his fleshly body would be comparable to a mid-grade treasure weapon, and coupled with his strength, he would definitely be able to compete with a strong outbreathing stage seal king. while his current cultivation was only at the 8th level of the yuanying stage. If he were to raise another level, his strength would definitely increase a lot. With such strength, Kang Chon believed that he shouldn't be in any danger on the Wind Cloud continent. However, he didn't know that on the battlefield of the righteous devil, anything could happen, and at this moment, the crisis was already slowly approaching them. In a high altitude, a huge treasure ship was traveling at great speed. Inside this treasure ship, there were more than 100 devilish aura-charged cultivators, sitting and standing in it, and everyone's eyes were filled with a murderous aura. Among them, 3 strong outbreeding stage cultivators were sitting together, each of them holding a demonic yuanying stage cultivator in their arms, as they talked and laughed, enjoying the beauties and fine wines around them. There's nothing wrong with listening to me, even though this place is close to the Heaven's Path Sect base, as long as we're careful. With the 3 of us joining forces, we can completely hunt down some of the Heaven's Path Sect's newcomers. One of the black-clothed out-of-body stage powerhouses grinned. He was a true disciple of the demon sect, and next to him, at the moment, sat a yellow-clothed sinister youth and a red-clothed big man, who were true disciples of the poison sect and the Hall of 10,000 Demons respectively. Not long ago, the 3 of them had teamed up and killed 3 waves of Heaven's Path Sect's newcomers, and the military honors they received were very generous. He, worthy of being a true disciple of the demon sect. I admire you. The red-clothed big man from the Hall of 10,000 Demons laughed. The yellow-clothed sinister youth from the poison sect, however, said cautiously, although we've gained quite a lot during this period of time, we can't be careless. This place is close to the Heavenly Tao Sect's base after all, so it's better to be careful. HMPH, you poison sects have always been timid. The red-clothed big man sniffed disdainfully. The yellow-clothed sinister youth smiled morosely. A trace of coldness flashed in his eyes, but he did not retort. Their poison sect didn't like to fight head-on, and had always preferred to shade people behind their backs, as they felt that it was very fulfilling. All right, everyone is a disciple of the Devil Tao. We should cooperate in good faith. Don't make a scene. The black-clothed youth from the Devil Sect droned. He then continued, Evil Goki is right. We should indeed be careful. When we kill another wave of newcomers from the Heaven's Path Sect, we'll temporarily leave this place and wait until the storm passes before coming back, so that the Heaven's Path Sect won't notice us. Good. Regardless of whether it was the yellow-clothed sinister youth from the poison sect, or the red-clothed big man from the Hall of 10,000 Demons, all of them were very convinced of this true disciple of the demon sect. There's a treasure ship approaching. It's a disciple of the Heaven's Path Sect, and there's only an out-of-body stage powerhouse sitting on top of it. Here's our chance. Suddenly, the black-clothed youth from the Devil Sect's eyes lit up and said with a face full of joy, Only one out-of-body stage powerhouse. The red-clothed man from the 10,000 Demons Hall revealed a ferocious smile. I wonder if there are any female disciples from the Heavenly Tao Sect. GG. The yellow-clothed youth from the poison sect named Evil Goki laughed sinisterly. High up in the sky, Kang Chan and the others were digesting the information Wang Tao had told them about the orthodox devil battlefield. Boom! Suddenly, a powerful will swept across the sky, immediately startling Kang Chan and Wang Tao. The 2 of them changed their faces and glanced at each other, both seeing the gravity in each other's eyes. In the battlefield of the righteous devil, if both parties were disciples of the righteous Tao, they would normally not use their will to probe the other party, which was a sign of disrespecting the other party. Only the strongest of the devil's path would do so. Just now that the will that came from probing was full of coldness, murderous aura, and morose intent, it was bound to be the strongest of the devil's path undoubtedly. Enemy attack! Everyone be careful, Wang Tao shouted. Then his will probed out. He wanted to know the strength and number of the enemy. A light flashed in Kang Chan's eyes. He also probed out his will and probed away. The others on the ship did not comprehend will and could only wait for news. At this moment, everyone's face was filled with gravity. At this time, Huang Tao's face changed miserably as he said in a shocked voice, "Not good. The enemy has 3 outbreeding stage powerhouses. 2 are in the late outbreeding stage. 1 is at the peak of the outbreeding stage, and there are more than 100 ushering stage cultivators." When everyone on the ship heard this, they were all filled with despair, and those newcomers were even more deathly pale. One had to know that Huang Tao was also only a late outbreeding stage powerhouse. What to do? Could it be that we're going to die here soon after coming to the orthodox battlefield? I'm not willing. Give me time. I'll definitely be able to become a divine separation stage powerhouse. Hearing Huang Tao's alarmed cry, the people on the ship were in a panic. Those old men were a little better. After all, they had all experienced danger, but those newcomers who had just come to the orthodox demon battlefield were all filled with despair. "Brother," Xiaojin looked towards the Kangqian, his face full of gravity. "To late outbreeding stage powerhouses and 1 peak outbreeding stage powerhouse, this lineup was indeed powerful. I'm afraid that it might not be possible, that they would really have to lose their entire army this time. Everyone calm down. Even if you die, you have to drag a cushion. You are all disciples of the Heavenly Tao sect. Don't you have this much guts?" Huang Tao saw the panicked expression of the crowd. He was anxious and knew that morale would be lost if this went on, so he hurriedly droned, "Elder brother Huang is right. Killing 1 is enough. Killing 2 also earns 1. Since I dared to come to the righteous devil battlefield, I, Niu San, have not been afraid." Niu San's eyes were ice cold. His tone was morose. "Brother Niu has good ambition. Let's see who kills more." Xiaojin sniffed and laughed. The crowd was subdued by their bravado. They calmed down at that moment and stopped panicking, only that their eyes were still filled with despair. Things were urgent. Huang Tao couldn't care about them in time. He transmitted his voice to Kangqian and Xiaojin, to senior brothers. "You have a powerful talent. As long as you don't die, the future has a great future. Later I will hold them back. You guys take the opportunity to escape to the base." After saying that, he was awe-inspiring and his battle intent was sky-high. When Kangqian and Xiaojin heard this, they were both shocked and looked at Huang Tao with some consternation. They did not expect this person to say such words at such a time. Xiaojin's impression of Huang Tao changed all of a sudden. He said in a loud voice, "To die together. I, Xiaojin, I am not a person who is greedy and afraid of death." "Senior brother you." Huang Tao was stunned, then anxious. "Senior brother Huang, don't need to say more. We won't run away. Without a bit of guts, we wouldn't have come to the orthodox demon battlefield." Kangqian interrupted Huang Tao's words. A blazing light flashed in his eyes as he continued, "Senior brother Huang, that peak out of body stage will be given to me. The remaining 2 late out of body stages will be 1 each for you and Xiaojin." Huang Tao's heart shook at his words. "No problem, brother. Feel free to make your move. I will drag him until you kill your opponent." Little Gold grinned, confidence showing in his eyes. "Senior brother." Huang Tao wanted to say that he would deal with that peak out breathing stage powerhouse himself, but at this time, 3 powerful auras had already swept in. "Senior brother Huang, I will take care of my opponents as soon as possible, so be careful yourself." Kangqian didn't wait for Huang Tao to finish his sentence. He directly roared and rushed out of the large ship. Little Gold followed closely behind. Huang Tao looked at Kangqian and Xiaojin's backs in a daze, then gritted his teeth and said, "Senior brother, I'll trust you guys for once. Hopefully a miracle will occur." The light in his eyes blazed as his entire body's true essence shot up into the sky, his figure chasing towards Kangqian and Little Gold. "Everyone prepare for battle. The 3 senior brothers are blocking the out-of-body stage powerhouses for us. Are we still going to be scared by a bunch of ushering stage devil path brats?" Niu San roared loudly and also rushed out of the big ship. Everyone put up a fight. Big deal. Killing 1 is enough. Hearing Niu San's words, The morale of the crowd immediately rose. In fact, they also knew that they could only fight with their backs to the wall at this time. After all, they were all elite disciples of the Heavenly Tao sect, and they still had this belief. Swish, 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 just as the disciples of the Heavenly Tao sect rushed out of the large ship. Not far away, the void shook, and then an equally huge treasure ship swept in, and on top of that ship, who rode a devilishly aura-drenched figure, and those pairs of icy cold eyes flickered with a brutal murderous aura.